Hello there. Certainly a mild start to Thursday morning, but there will be outbreaks of rain around and also a lot of low cloud, a misty, murky start across England and Wales. Sunshine across Aberdeenshire, unfortunately, won't last as the showery outbreaks of rain drift their way steadily northwards. Some improvement across England and Wales, despite a few showers moving through East Anglia, but mild for all. Top temperatures between 14 and 20 degrees. We might see one or two places at 21 or 22. And then as we move through Thursday evening into the early hours of Friday morning, more wet and increasingly windy weather will start to push in from the west. So here it will be a wet start to Friday. There will be some dry brighter weather, but it's not expected to last. Outbreaks of rain gradually drifting their way north, the heaviest of which will be always out to the north. And once that rain clears, the sunshine comes through. Once again, temperatures respond. A mild story for all.
With midterm elections approaching, the American people prepare to make their voices heard on everything from inflation to crime and relations with Russia and the war in Ukraine. We travel the country, talking to voters about where they stand on the big issues. And we'll break down the impact of the upcoming elections on the US and the rest of the world. Follow the US midterm elections on the BBC News Channel and online.
Welcome to Newsday. Reporting live from Singapore, I'm Mariko Oi. The headlines. Iranian security forces open fire on protesters in several cities, 40 days since the death of Mahsa Amini while detained by morality police. Britain's new Prime Minister Rishi Sunak appears in Parliament for his first full day on the job, rolling back even more of his predecessor's economic plans. The Chinese government is accused of setting up unofficial police stations around the world to intimidate and silence dissidents. Beijing says it's simply untrue. As extreme weather batters the planet, the UN Secretary General tells the BBC we're approaching a point of no return and climate change must be a priority again. And as Russia conducts drills by its nuclear forces, President Putin is on hand to personally observe them.
Live from our studio in Singapore. This is BBC News. It's Newsday.
It's 6 in the morning in Singapore and 1:30 in the morning in Iran, where security forces have used live ammunition on protesters in several cities, 40 days after the death of Mahsa Amini in police custody. She was arrested after allegedly wearing her hijab incorrectly. People took to the streets in 30 cities across the country, with some businesses also closing to show their solidarity. Our correspondent Rana Rahimpa reports.
Day 40 of Iran protests, and 40 days since the death of Mahsa Amini, the young Iranian Kurdish woman who has become a symbol for Iran's protest movement. This is the city of Saqqez, her birthplace. The authorities did everything to stop people attending her Memorial Day. They blocked the roads and closed all the schools and universities of Kurdistan province. But they failed, and thousands of people marched to her grave. The violent crackdown of the protests have failed to stop them. Videos show demonstrations in Tehran, the capital, and in at least another 30 cities, and in the universities across the country. Meanwhile, more businesses have gone on strike. These were demonstrations in front of the Medical Council of the Islamic Republic of Iran in the capital. Doctors were protesting when security officers attacked them. Some were arrested. Workers at Tehran oil refining company refused to work. And shop owners in the capital's Grand Bazaar, as well as other cities, stayed closed. The Iranian authorities say everything is under control. But the videos that are being published online tell a different story. They show a country in turmoil and people who want regime change. Rana Rahimpour, BBC News.
Well, I'm joined now by Nega Mortazavi. She's an American-Iranian journalist and political analyst who joins us live. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday today. I understand a gathering for the 40th day of mourning has significance in Iran, and protests are very much going strong.
Exactly. So after the death of any person, the 7th day of mourning and then the 40th day of mourning is a significant ceremony that the loved ones in the community gather. And in the case of political protests, people are drawing comparisons with the 1979 revolution and these 40-day intervals of protests. So each time there would be a protest, protesters would be killed, and then 40 days later they'll gather again to mourn, and then more protesters would be killed. So it's been 40 days of interval. This is the first interval in this round of protests. It's obviously for the death of Mahsa